right, I'm back. Follow me, but don't double tap. I ain't liking that. You subscribe, I monetize. Now who's striking that? Wanna see the contract? Who got the rights to that? This my story. I spent my whole life on life. Time's up. Shador Sanders with the rollie in the armor. I could do this shit with my eyes closed. The main attraction don't come at me with no side show. I'm selling high, they wanna buy low.
Oh no, baby. Your boy wasn't ready. Now I'm ready. You got to get it popping, man. Let me get that music playing in the background. There we go. What's good? What's popping, man? Your boy is here. It's Tuesday morning. Another cook up, man. It's 10:02, 10:03. We a couple seconds late, but we still here for y'all. Man, let me get this mic right. There we go. I got my boy Rock in the building, man. He in the kitchen. He ready to cook up. We glad the people here as always. And Rock, man, another Tuesday morning. How we feeling this morning, brother?
I'm feeling pretty excited. As you could tell, just with the way I'm dressed, I'm feeling the weather has been so damn good, Fizz. We've been really lucky with the weather. So when the weather is good outside, I feel a lot better. We got things popping off in sports, but I'm excited just to do this show with you and with the people.
That's it, man. You always decided to do the show with us, bro. Yeah. So we glad you here. We glad they here. And I'm glad I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, today, though, I said this morning before I get into the audience, see what's popping with them. I hit my boy Rock up. I'm like, look, Rock, I know the NBA, we don't talk about it much. We really barely even care about it. But I think when it's championship time, we got to have a little short conversation. So today we will talk about it at Eastern and Western Conference, go back a little bit of the history of those matchups and see what the future looks like, man. Hopefully one of your sons, nephews, uncles, whoever get drafted, and then you want us to talk about them. So let's bring it up today, man. You know what I'm saying? But we got the people up in here, Riley. We ain't talking about no what ifs. Let's talk about what's popping right now.
Yeah.
Man. And we got Jay Jack, man. He said he way too early, but too early for predictions. But his long run prediction is beating T-Rock in the South Harmon Valley. Well, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see about that, Jay, man. Oh, you ain't put my name in there, so you must be planning on losing to me before that even happens, brother. So Patty Mills, he said, man, he ain't here before Jake. Yeah, man, Jake, I don't know, man. My boy Jake must be out there in Carolina with the Panthers, man. You know what I'm saying? He out there in the jungle, man, doing his thing. Let me see. My man D-Walk say he's trying to make a trade. Y'all out here trying to make trades out here on the damn live stream, man. Tom, what's good with you, man? We got Connor in the building. What's popping? What's cooking? Elijah, what's going on, man? How you feeling, man? Big E. Big Dog E in the building, man. My boy Voorhees and Shimmy, man. Shimmy said what's good. So he said it's rock time, man. Tuesday. You know how we get down, Shimmy, man. We appreciate you being in the building, man. And yeah, like I said, man, we just got a couple of hot topics, seeing what's going on in the news. We ain't gonna get into much drama because it is a lot of drama on my timeline, Rock. Every time I go on that X.
There is. What's going on X?
I forgot, man. You don't really stay hip to what's going on.
No, not to the bullshit. No, most of it is just bullshit anyway. But yeah, tell me a little bit. What's going on in your timeline?
Well, I really don't want to talk about it. That's why I say I'm going to leave it alone. But I will say it's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of craziness, a lot of this, that, and third. And maybe some of your favorite people, man, might be getting into it at this current moment as we speak. But we'll let those guys figure it out. That's why they get paid the big bucks. And we're going to talk about what we talking about, man. So, today, though, Rock, like I said, I wanted to bring up a little bit of this NBA. I know we had some people before when we brought up NBA. Man, when the football coming up? We don't want to hear. So we're going to give y'all a little bit of that, man. All right, just bear with us, man. Let us know, little debate, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who in this chat really watches or keeps up with the NBA these days. But again, man, it's that time, man. I know we don't watch too much of the regular season. But when the playoffs come, you might watch a little bit more. Then the conference champions come. It's like, all right, and then I feel like this year, Rock, it's just a little different because the last time the Timberwolves went, I believe I looked, it was 2004. Kevin Garnett was there. You got Anthony Edwards taking over the whole league by storm, probably future MVP at some point, the way he's balling out, man. He talks his talk. He don't take no for an answer, and he going to do what he do, man. And then we got SGA, he just won the MVP yesterday. He beat Jokic. A lot of people say he should have won it last year. So him winning the MVP this year makes it the third OKC superstar to win the MVP, but they have no championship ring. So just imagine you got 3 MVPs in this franchise and 0 championships, bro. So it's that time, you know what I'm saying? And that's the West Side, and you got the East over there with Boston losing. They out of here. The Knicks fans, they walking for cheesecake. They want to make the band for Diddy. I don't know what the New York Knicks want to do, man, but I do know the Knicks are in the conference championship. They talking their talk. They walking their walk. And the Pacers, man. So we're going to get a little bit of that. Then we're going to get into some NBA, and we're going to see what's good, man. But I am, as a fan of sports, happy to see different faces. We don't see Steph Curry and LeBron and all these guys who we've been seeing for 35 years run the league. It's a new day and a new age, man. So to get it kicked off, though, Rock, I did want to bring up SGA, the MVP of the NBA right now currently. You got these other guys on the other side, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, both won MVPs with that franchise. And just like I said, just looking at it now with the young movement they got over there in OKC, they got 100 million first-round picks. They traded all those old guys. They traded Russell Westbrook for like 5 first-rounders. They traded James Harden for like 4 first-rounders. They traded Paul George. They traded everybody, man. Got rid of everybody. Got paid, and now they are here. Top 2 team every year for the last 2 years. Like I said, I know you ain't really been paying attention, watching much of it, Rock, but I will say, knowing what you know, a little bit of what you know, with the OKC, with Kevin Durant and Westbrook, that might have been the last time you even watched a Westbrook.
I was about to say this
game, right?
The last time I loved basketball was after LeBron left and broke our hearts in Cleveland. I became an OKC fan. I became a Thunder fan. Kevin Durant at that time was one of my favorite. He was my favorite NBA player. I just loved the way that he operated. I loved, especially in interviews after the game, I loved his demeanor. So between him, between Westbrook, Harden as the best 6 man off the bench, and also Serge Ibaka, man, it was awesome. It was awesome seeing them play. That was when I last loved the NBA. But after LeBron left, and then Kevin Durant coming so close to winning a finals, and then joining the enemy in Golden State, I was getting tired of the NBA, man. So that was the last time.
I'm with you, man. And honestly, Rock, I haven't really kept up with it as much as I wanted to. You know, when my boy Luka got traded, that hurt my heart. Around this time last year,
that was brutal. That was so brutal. I can't believe that happened earlier this year.
Luka was a Maverick, and we were chasing the championship. Went to the championship. So I just think right now, though, like I said, seeing teams like OKC and the Timberwolves, the Knicks and the Pacers, we know it's a lot of history there, but in today's game, we haven't seen the Knicks and the Pacers win anything of significance. So to see, like I said, those 4 teams playing right now, I don't know how the ratings are going to look, because a lot of people want to see the same old faces. But as a fan of any sport, man, you want to see new, fresh eyes and just some new movement going on. But I know you said you were an OKC fan. I know you probably aren't these days, but what's your thoughts on them having a Russ, a KD, and now SGA as the MVP and no championship ring, bro? Is it time, or do they have more time to hopefully win one?
That's one of the things, especially when it comes to the NBA. I feel more so than even football is when you have these players who are so good at their sport, and they hit this wall because they're up against one of the all-time greats. Whether you're playing against Michael Jordan, who wins all the championships, or you play against LeBron James, who at least goes to all the championships and has a lot to his name as well. It is just such a, it's all about the superstars. It's all about the cornerstones who can just take over the game. So unless you just play like at that San Antonio Spurs level of teamwork. Also, shout out to Popovich, who he retired, I guess. But yeah, I think it's just very, very difficult in the NBA. So I will say the last game that I did see in the finals that was absolutely awesome, the Bucks and the Suns. That was probably the last final series that I watched every minute of and absolutely loved it. And those were 2 amazing teams, but they were also, had their superstars as well. So yeah, I think it's just difficult when it comes to the NBA. That's why I like it, or I used to really like it, is because it was very different from the NFL. It was about the cornerstones. It was about the superstars. So
yeah,
it's going to be tough.
It's a lot I could talk about with that Phoenix Suns team, but we aren't because they blew that team up and now it's horrendous, right? Kevin Durant is over there right now. But I will say, man, I think SGA was well deserved. He should have won last year. I think Jokic could have won this year. The man averaged a triple-double, Rock, the whole year. How do you average a triple-double and not win MVP at center? That's crazy, right?
That's
but
wild.
a lot of people thought he shouldn't have won last year, and now SGA got his just due. I just think with this Oklahoma City Thunder, they have 3 MVPs. They did reach a championship when they played Miami, but they lost. And to not win one yet, and also not have those superstars. Like right now, I'm not discounting the Timberwolves, but if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder, you're praising God that the Timberwolves are there and not one of those superstar, crazy stacked up teams. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is the perfect matchup because it's kind of level throughout like the matchups in the lineup. But also, it isn't like you're going up against those LeBron, Miami Heat, and the Golden State with 5 supers. You know what I'm saying? It's the level, the playing field is level. So I do like what we might see, and I hope that we get a good series, man, out of this. But SGA, man, like I said, he got his just due. I'm waiting for the people, man. It don't sound like too many NBA fans is really into the show right now, and that's cool. But I know my boy E, man, like you said, great for small market organization. Exactly. When you got the Timberwolves, when you got OKC, man, those guys, they have to do a lot to sell a lot of merchandise and tickets and, have primetime games, right? So now getting there and having that, that's what you want to see, man, as a league. So when I look at, I did bring this up, Rock, and I know we're gonna kind of move through the NBA. We ain't gonna hold y'all up, but I did want to speak on it.
Yeah.
When you look at the Timberwolves, you got my boy, AE, Kevin Garnett. I think the last time the Timberwolves, like I said earlier, made a championship or Western Finals championship was 2004. I believe they played the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken.
Division championship, yeah.
Yeah, and to see this guy right here, number 5, AE, took the league by storm, man. He just like the thing I love about AE, Rock, he's himself, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I mean, people might not like how he talk. He got a mouth or whatever the case. He is going to be him. He's not going to say, hey, I got this image to uphold. And, we've seen guys like Allen Iverson and a lot of other guys in the league be themselves and get criticized for it. But now in today's game, man, or today's world, right, it's okay to be you. Like, it is perfectly fine to wear tattoos and cornrows or whatever else you want to do with your life. It's perfectly fine. And I think AE is the perfect example of being a superstar, not doing crazy things off the clock, but also being himself. Ja Morant had that issue with the whole gun thing, and people criticize him for that and wanted to play like he's a gangster, right? Yeah. I'm not knocking John because I don't know him, but I know AE. If you're going to do it the way that people think you should do it, be yourself, but be original. Like AE look like one type of dudes, bro. He might walk down the street by himself and dap everybody up. He don't look like he got 100 security, 100 friends around. He just look like a real down-to-earth person. And to have a guy like Kevin Garnett, who's the other biggest name in this franchise, be the big ticket, the big, the most aggressive dude, angriest man on the planet when he was playing. I would have loved to see these two dudes play together on the same team, man. That would have been so cool to see AE and KG, man. That would have been a hell of a way to see a
hey, don't forget about my dude Kevin Love. He was the staple there for a little while too before he went to the Cavaliers.
Well, I say this, Stephon Marbury too, man. I ain't gonna get too in depth with the NBA, but I will say Stephon Marbury and KG was a hell of a tag team. I'm just saying, when we talk about guys that's taking the league by storm for a franchise, AE is the clear, might be 101, man, when we're talking about just attitude and what's that? That moxie. You know what I'm saying? That moxie. That's that word they love to use, right? I love me some AE, man. And what's your prediction with this matchup? Them versus OKC. I know you don't know the lineups. I'm sure you don't know the whole roster, but
I'm just gonna go with my old team, man, in OKC. I'm just gonna hope but here's the thing: the Timberwolves have never won a championship, to my knowledge. So
the OKC haven't either. So we on the same boat.
So whoever wins, they're going to bring something to their franchise. So I hope I hope one of them does. So
all right, well, anybody, man, we get y'all predictions in this chat, man. We might gotta, we might have to, what we had to do next week, Rock. Instead of us breaking down the games, we might just gotta look at some some lines, man. Put some money down. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some money involved, man. Let's get them pockets stacked up, baby. But me personally, if we're talking off the beginning, start the show, and before they have any matches, I'm gonna say I want Minnesota to win, but I think OKC will win. That's my prediction. I want Minnesota to win, but I think OKC just has a better lineup, man. So that's what we're gonna go through with that. Like I said, that's pretty much the match. I forgot to bring this graphic up, but my boy Schumer said, "What is this?" He ain't feeling this NBA talk either. We getting through with Schumer. I just gotta bring it up, man, because
Schumer didn't even know that we did a show together. He's like, "Why the hell are you going live, T-Rock?" And I was like, "What?"
But to close out the NBA debate, man, I did want to bring this one up because this is a historic. Anything the Knicks do is historic because they haven't done it. The people love to talk about the Cowboys and our last time went. Bro, the Knicks ain't won nothing since who knows was playing, right? The Knicks is trash. They've been trash for a long time, but they here and they in the building. So let's talk about this, right? I don't know if you really remember this history, but Reggie Miller and Spike Lee, man, the biggest choke job in the Knicks history. And then we got Halliburton and my boy Brunson, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, Rock. I did not see this matchup coming. I had Boston winning. I had Milwaukee and Boston. That was pretty much my two teams. If I had to pick two teams,
and looking at that Celtics player Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum, man. Yeah. Tatum towards ACL and Achilles, I believe.
Achilles, yeah.
And you know those recoveries for those, man. So he might not even see the rest of 2025. He might, we might see him in 2026, man, with that injury. And Dame Lillard towards Achilles too. So that's two superstars in this league we won't see early in the season. But Reggie Miller, Spike Lee, the most historic Eastern Conference game in a while. Reggie, I don't know if you saw the 30 for 30, Rock, but you got to watch it, man. The Knicks versus the Pacers, one of the best.
I have seen that. I have seen that 30 for 30, yeah.
And remember, awesome. Reggie Miller said when Spike Lee was on that sideline talking all that trash, he took over. And I think Reggie Miller dropped like 12 points in 2 minutes or a minute 30 seconds, bro, and took the game over. Like, yeah, I just think, man, yeah, my boy E said F New York. I'm with you, E. I'm with you, man. F the Knicks, bro. I'm not necessarily saying I want to see the Pacers win either, but man, F the Knicks, man. We don't care about no damn Knicks. And I really want to see somebody other than the Knicks to win. Even though I love Jalen Brunson, that's my dog. I like the roster they have over there, but can care less about the Knicks as a franchise. So I just say for this one, Rock, I'm gonna go. I want the Pacers to win, but I think the Knicks are gonna win. That's my cheat code way of saying the Knicks probably gonna go. What you think?
I know the Knicks have been knocking on the door. They've been kind of good, making the playoffs years ago, and then maybe winning a series after the first couple of years, and now they've gotten this far. I love to see the progression, them slowly getting better and better and better every year. So I want to see them get to the finals, actually. I have no stock in either of these teams.
I got you.
But I do want to see them try to.
I say this, your boy Stephen A. Smith love him some Knicks. So for him, you might roll with the Knicks, man. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. Yeah, I'll roll with Stephen A. then. So.
Well, that's why I don't want him to win. Last thing I want to hear is him on my timeline scream about the Knicks, man. Get that Bama off my.
Is that who's been on your timeline? Is Steve? At least he's not screaming about LeBron James. So
maybe it ain't him, but there's definitely some crazy stuff going on in the world of sports and the news right now. But anybody in the chat, what's your predictions? But I'm rolling with the Pacers. I want to win. Knicks probably will win. And I think overall, since this is a show of predictions, we're talking about the NBA schedule and the predictions of divisions and championships. I think if I had to pick a winner right now for the finals, though, Rock, it's going to be, I think OKC bring it home, man.
Over the Knicks, because that'll be my prediction.
I think OKC finally does it. Shea Alexander, man, he been doing this thing for a while. Canadian boy, he doing his thing. And Schumer said Pacers and Ant-Man. I would love to see that too, Schumer. I'm with you, bro. I just think OKC, man. And the crazy part, Rock, I think they got like 9 first-rounders for the next like 3 years, bro. And they just stack, man. I think what they should do, trade away that. I think if they don't win this year, they got to trade a player and some picks and just go get the best assembled team we've ever seen, man. I see my boy Tom said, "Let's talk hockey playoffs." I'm with it, bro. I don't understand it, but I'm with it, man. So I will say,
I love hockey. Do you love hockey? I absolutely love hockey.
I say this, bro. There's certain sports that I love seeing in person, certain sports I love seeing on TV. Hockey and baseball, I gotta be there. I've grown to watch baseball now on the couch, but it's way better in person. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't watch hockey in the house. I just say that.
Okay, maybe you're just wrong with the wrong people. And sometimes if you get the right people around you with the energy, then you get more into it. That's what it is.
Why I say this, Rob? Where I'm from, man, you got hockey going on. You get nobody's gonna watch you play it. Okay, we're gonna walk out of here. Nobody's gonna watch you.
Man, you guys got the Capitals. What are you talking about?
And you know what happens? The only time we go to the Capitals is when they win the championship. If they ain't winning nothing, we ain't gonna win.
Oh my God, you guys don't deserve that team.
Hey man, shout out my boy Ovech, man. But I'm just saying, Rock. I did go to a Capitals game for my birthday. It was one of the best games I've been to because it was just the atmosphere was just live. So I will say
it's awesome. Yeah,
the atmosphere live
awesome.
changed everything. But hey, I will say this, man. If y'all come with some good hockey takes, man, we might bring them up. And also, before we get into the football thing, we got a WNBA. I'm not really sure what's going on right now, but shout out to Caitlin Clark. Dropped a triple-double game 1. Who else we got? My boy Angel. She just doing whatever she doing, man. Baltimore girl. She got too much going on, right? I hope she just get back to basketball, man. We need to get back to the basics. Let's just get rid of all the crazy wild stuff. But Caitlin
back
Clark
to basketball.
Right now,
what is she doing right now?
Everything but basketball, complaining, arguing, fighting. Let's just play basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? And Caitlin Clark doing what she do. First triple-double of the season, drop 1, game 1, man. That just is what it is. I know, Schumer. We gonna move on. I just had to get the news because it was going on and it was popping. But I will say, let's get to where we supposed to be at, Rock. And your boy, one of the boys you love, the one you talk about, the one you say is that guy, no more irrelevancy. Your man, Brock Purdy, Dirty Purdy, in the building, just got paid. Man, he's not the number 1 highest paid, but he got paid. Don't matter where you at, as long as that money clear when you hit the bank. So how you feeling about this signing? Where you at with it? What does this do for the offense, knowing that they finally got their guy locked in for the future? The weapons, I guess they can assemble at some point, but knowing that they got him under contract before the season start, no holdout, no fussing and fighting. Where you at with Purdy, bro?
I am super excited. I think it was only a matter of time, and if you want, you could pull up a little bit after this discussion, that graphic I sent you. But yeah, I think he deserves this contract. So I went back and looked over some of his stats, just where he compares in some of the most important metrics in the NFL. Points per game for fantasy, he was 13th. QBR, he was 7th. Rushing touchdowns, he does have some legs. He was tied for 4th. Neutral pass rate, tied for 5th. ADOT, he does push the ball down the field. So he averaged 9 yards per pass. Adjusted yards per attempt, 8.18. So when it comes to some of the most important metrics, he's right there in the top 12. And luckily, he is being drafted that way. For me personally, Fizz, if I'm starting a dynasty league, I'm going to be looking for him after Justin Herbert goes off the board, after Bo Nix goes off the board. It's going to be a discussion between him and Baker Mayfield. Where do you rank Brock Purdy?
Well, I'm going to look at this list and bring that up. This is the contract salary cap. What
we're looking at right here, AAV, that's average annual value. So this is at signing day. How much of the cap did these quarterbacks take up? So when Joe Burrow signed his contract, he took up 24.47% of their salary cap for the Bengals. When Brock Purdy signed his, he's all the way down at 14th, at 18.98%, which is wild. Basically, when I look at this graphic, what it's telling me is that the salary cap is expanding faster than what the average quarterback contract is expanding to, which is wild to think about because they're the highest paid by far, in the league. Yeah. So to think that the NFL it's growing faster than the contracts are, I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but when you look at both him and Josh Allen, it's it's a lot smaller relative to what Joe and Dak and even Herbert signed for.
And this is the great Schumer called you out, Rock, man. He said, stand on your business, man. Put that money where your mouth is, man. You took Purdy over, you ain't take Purdy over Baker, man. What's up with that, bro?
Well, yeah, I wanted to share the wealth. That's all. So I probably should have.
It's all good. But I will say this, though, bro. Looking at this is a good chart, bro, because when we look at numbers, realistically, in our eyes, we don't see what this says, right? The salary cap numbers compared to what the team has to look at for that year versus what we look at. All we look at is the big number. What
we look at is $53 million,
exactly.
And yeah, the fully guaranteed.
And I'm not gonna lie, I know this is conversations about Purdy, but the one I'm looking at the most is this Sam Darnold, bro. Looking at Sam Darnold at 12% and them having that Jalen Milroe right behind them. That contract that we saw, $100 million, I don't know, man. Look a little bit more respective in this range.
Look at Baker Mayfield, who's way better than him. He's only right above him.
Baker too, man. Yeah. So I actually love this chart, bro. I'm glad you actually brought this up. But to go back to Brock Purdy, though, we all know that they were in cap hell. That's why they lost a lot of players. But to have him at this rate, 18% compared to all the other guys over top of him, he's right next to Josh Allen, which looks crazy, bro. That looks crazy to see at any capacity.
Look at Kirk Cousins' shitty ass right below him and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's crazy to see right there, bro. So I actually love seeing this chart because it actually tells us a lot about what the 49ers did with the language of this contract and also what they have to kind of put around him after losing so much. They lost a lot of offense, O-line, linebackers, receivers. It looked like they're creating a new team, but to see that this percentage is going into the quarterback versus 24%, 25%. Those guys that just signed. I like what they did with this contract, actually.
It gives me a lot more respect for franchises like the Lions, the Bills, and the 49ers in comparison to the Falcons, Jets, and Saints, who are paying quarterbacks that don't play for their team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, too, for the Browns. Look at the Browns with Deshaun Watson. That's just always going to be one of the worst decisions in sports history.
Well, they're the Browns.
But overall, when I think about this upcoming year with Brock Purdy, I've been saying it all year long. They had the worst offensive situation in all of football last year. You lose Trent Williams because of a tragedy in his family. You lose Ayuk because he was on his bullshit, and then he gets hurt. So and then Ricky Pearsall, your first round pick, gets shot. CMC is on the cover of Madden, so he was cursed. There was literally no other situation that was worse in football for an offensive team than the 49ers last year. And here's the crazy thing about it. Brock Purdy got better last year compared to every other season before. As far as a passer goes, he grew as a passer. So for me, it makes sense for them to be able to lock him down. He is perfect for the Shanahan system. He's able to make and execute every single throw on the field. And he is going into a year where he's going to have Kittle as his number one, I think. And then you have Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, and then eventually Brandon Ayuk is going to come back from injury. And I know we're going to talk about it later, but spoiler alert, the 49ers have the easiest schedule in the NFL next year. So I think we should see a completely different picture. I think a lot will also depend on CMC coming back from injury because it's behind him is just Garendo and Jordan James. But outside of that, I think this team could look vastly different than where it was a year ago.
I'm with Schumer on this one, man. But but I will say, I just like I said, the language in the contract from what you just showed me, to see that they're not blowing money fast like we saw the Cincinnati Bengals do. And yeah, man, I think doing what they did, I know they didn't want Ayuk, or they act like they don't want him. They want to try to trade him, and he's up this and that. He's under contract. Nobody traded for him. He's officially a 49er going into this year. Like it or love it. It is what it is. So to see what they did with not wanting his contract anymore, but figuring out with Purdy, I think it was a good move, smart move from a solid franchise who's figured it out over the years. So shout out your boy Brock Purdy, man, for doing this thing. And
go
ahead.
Let me ask you this. Do you think he's already reached his ceiling, or do you think he's got still more room to grow?
I say this. I think That's a good question, bro. Damn, you kind of threw me off with that one. I say this when people reach their ceiling to me, I think
Mhm.
it's based off your surroundings. So I think for the surroundings that he has, I don't think he can be better than he was a couple of years ago when they went on that playoff run when they had Debo and like I think
Mhm.
having Debo 2 years ago and the fresh CMC and with that lineup they had versus the Chiefs a couple years ago in the Super Bowl, that was like his peak to me. I'm not saying statistically because he was still young. He was like very young at his range, but
Mhm.
it's hard to say, bro, because I looked at Dak Prescott, man, coming his rookie season and looked pretty solid, one rookie of the year. Every year I feel like statistically he's gotten better. But as a whole of a team, the pieces around him haven't gotten better. So I think Purdy right now is capped to whatever his talent is. I think if he loses Ayuk and Kittle gets older and gets injured and they don't replace those guys, like let's just say give him 2 years, Kittle and CMC are at like the lowest that they've been over their career because of age, right? I don't think we get a better Purdy with those guys not being at their best. You know what I'm saying? So I just say I think he's
Yeah.
capped at what's around him versus if he loses those guys, I don't see him getting better and pulling like a Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, when he loses players, he seems to get better because nobody else around him has gotten better. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
not comparing him to Pat. I'm just saying I think he's capped at what's around him to make him better.
Yeah. See, that's why I did see some improvement from him last year in some major different ways. Maybe it doesn't show up and always in the metrics, but when you watch him, especially when it comes to certain throws that he was making, his timing, those types of things can improve over time. And I did see him, despite his situation being way worse than the worst it's ever been, since he's been with the team, I did see him make some steps forward. And I did look up a couple of different things real quick about him in his contract, just some of his accomplishments. So he set the franchise's single season passing record and also has the highest single game completion rate of a game. He had a 91 game, he had 95% completion percentage, which is absolutely wild. He passed Steve Young, who was at 90%. He is 23-13 in the regular season. He's 4-2 in the playoffs. And he could have even won more games. If you remember when they went up against the Eagles and he tore his elbow in like the first play after he was making the epic run when he was a rookie. So he could have had 2 Super Bowl appearances instead of the Eagles having 2 Super Bowl appearances. But in that 2023 season that you talked about, he led the league in passer rating and yards per attempt. That's one of the other things that I love about him, which I don't understand why Mike always says this all the time, is that he can't make every throw. He can't pass down the field. He literally led the league in passing the ball down the field at yards per attempt. He can push the ball down the field, and he's able to make great decisions. That's the other thing, too. He does not put the ball in harm's way. So I think he's a smart quarterback, highly underrated. I love those underrated guys. I love my Brock Purdy's. I love my even Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield, man. I love those guys who just produce and they don't get the accolades, but they're totally okay with it. So
I say this, bro. But what I said, I think matches what you kind of just said when you said the year of the championship run that they went on with Philly, or was that the year after? One of those years, the championship run year, whatever one.
They lost to Philly in that game.
I'm saying he was at his best at that year, right? So that's what I'm saying. The championship roster, he's at his best. But I think, and I know you say he took some steps up last year. The problem is, no matter how good he looks, when you look at their record, people are going to say, no, you didn't win nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how we look at it in this game. Because I say this about my Cowboys all the time, bro. No matter how good a certain player is, if Dak has the best year of his career, if they don't win a playoff game, it was all for nothing. So I'm just saying that to say, from a Cowboys fan, knowing that my quarterback would never get a break, Brock Purdy won't get a break unless they're winning those games, no matter how good or better he's gotten.
Your Cowboys and Dak Prescott wish that they could sniff the Super Bowl and be one play away. Like That's cool. They were one play away from winning the Super Bowl against that vaunted Chiefs team, which is absolutely crazy. Unfortunately, Shanahan didn't know the overtime rules in the Super Bowl, so they lost.
No, but that's my point, though, Rob. He had a championship team around him, though. Brock Purdy had CMC, who was the best running back almost that year. So that's what I'm
Man,
saying.
he was
I'm
so
not
good
saying that
that
if you
year.
put Dak in Purdy's spot, that it would have happened the exact way. I'm just saying we're going to judge him off of what he does with wins and losses more than we are if he progresses as a statistical player. And because I see it happen with my team all the time. So that's all I'm saying. When you ask me what I think is he capped, I think he's capped off of how good the team is versus individually how he is. Because
I
that's
think
just how
that's
people going to judge him.
yeah, I think that's a great point because we also have to remember too, he's only 25 years old. Dak Prescott, who we're very excited for, is 31 years old, and he probably has the best team that he's ever had. So I'm going to trust that Lynch and Shanahan can assemble a really good team over the next 6 years, and they're getting their former DCs, Mike McDaniel for the Dolphins. He'll probably get his ass canned, if he doesn't figure it out in Miami. So if they have Saleh and Daniel back next year, I mean, that could be wheels up for the 49ers. So give it a couple of years. He's only 25 years old. I'm pretty excited what the 49ers are going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't excited what they're going to do, but I do think that they made a good decision, man. They got their guy. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, like I said, this Brock Purdy thing, man, we're going to see how it works out, how it pan out. But up next, Rock, I think what we going predictions. We're going to go to we ain't going to break down the schedule and who wins each game.
Yeah, we're not going to do each and every game. That's like hundreds and hundreds of games.
100%.
But if we want to talk about what are some of our favorite games, we could bring up the who's got the best path to the Super Bowl, who's got the hardest path. But we're going to end it on let's get some division winners and some playoff picture right there.
All right, that'll work, brother. Well, let's get into that. I know we ain't did this in a minute, but let's take a quick little break, get y'all breath together, get my lungs together. I got this bronchitis up in here, man. I ain't coughed yet, so it must be a good day, right? I'm working on it. You look good. I'm feeling good. Drinking this tea.
Yeah.
We're going to be right back with the news, baby. Get it popping.
Welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Like and subscribe. That's what we really appreciate. Welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate.
Just like that, we back, baby. So, Rock, man, 2025, the NFL schedule, everything was released. The best games, the premier games, the top games. What was your reaction when you saw, I guess, some of your favorite games or what you thought would be something that you really want to maybe go to, maybe you want to watch? What's your biggest surprise on the schedule?
Oh, man, biggest surprise? I'm not sure about biggest surprise. I think it feels like a lot of the best games are earlier on in the season. And I know that some of the best games are going to be at the end of the season when the NFL schedule or the NFL playoffs are in jeopardy. Some teams are going to be securing that number 1 seed. Maybe some teams are going to just try to get that number 7 seed. But a lot of the best games are front loaded. One of the would you be surprised if one of the best games is the Cowboys and the Eagles week 1? If the Cowboys do take that step forward,
I'm gonna be honest, Rob. Me and Mike talked about this Friday. I believe to me, he told us 31-17. Man, come on, Mike, man. You tripping, man. As a Cowboys fan, I would not say that they're gonna beat the Eagles guaranteed, right? But if they beat the Eagles, it would not surprise me because this is a division game. Now, if we talking playoff game, I would honestly tell you the Eagles might got us. But if we talking game 1, no injuries, hopefully, coming out of training camp, everybody's fresh, your knees are rested, everybody's mentally ready, everybody's there, lights on, and Philly is getting a banner, getting that ring. What more would the Cowboys want than to spoil you that night, right? What more would the Eagles want than to not let us spoil that night? So regardless, it's going to be a great game because I think they both have something to play for, but the Eagles defense is so good that it's going to be a challenge for the Cowboys, but I don't think the challenge is going to be as bad as what people think, Rock. The one thing I learned about the Cowboys, win, lose, or draw, they can put points up on that board if it really come down to crunch time. And even if it's garbage time points, right? Like they're down 2 scores, there's 6 minutes left, and they need to hurry up and score. That can figure out a way to put that rock in the end zone. So I'm gonna just say, man, I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm not betting my bank account on the Cowboys winning, but I am going to put a couple waiters out there, man, just because I think the odds are against us anyway, and it's going to be a hell of a game, man. My biggest thing, though, when Mike always got these debates, man, he told me he got the exciting whites over there going in the background. These cornerbacks is going to shut us down. Like I told him, George Pickens is going to have that ski mask on, and the black-handed death is going to come down, baby. The 5 fingers is going to hit the face, and it's going to go down, baby. So I will say it's going to be a lot of animosity and a lot of it just that, that dog is going to be on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I love a match like this. I actually love my division a lot more now. People, I guess, as a team, you will want to see your team win the division clearly. But when you got the Commanders and the Eagles and even the Giants having the best draft they've had in years, I think the NFC East is no longer the NFC least. We back, and I'm enjoy that game as much as ever, bro.
Yeah, I think we're going to see, I think, the best version of Lamb, Pickens, and Dak we've ever seen this year. So I understand. I know, Mike, you made a good point that with a new coach, new offensive system, well, it's actually going to be the same offensive system, that it could take a little bit of time for them to acclimate. But and usually the defenses have the upper hand when it first starts off. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than 36-17 and whatever shit.
Yeah, come on, Mike, man.
It's a division game. Those games are usually pretty close. So
I mean, even Schumann with a 37-24, I think that's a lot of points. I'm not gonna lie, but I just don't see a 2 touchdown score game, bro. The only way that happens, Rock, if we were talking later in the season, because like I broke it down to Mike Friday. When they beat the Chiefs like that, I believe they beat the Chiefs like that. 1, because they were the better team, 100%, right? But 2, this is February, bro. The players have been playing for a whole season. Everybody is getting beat. They tired. They worn out. And the Philadelphia Eagles are so stacked at defense that you can rotate those guys and have fresh guys coming in. The Chiefs, man, are playing with the same players every play, bro, at one point. And I just think us playing them week 1 versus November, December, January, it's all eyes on both of us. We all fresh. And as long as no one's injured or coming out of training camp hurt, I don't see how it's going to be a blowout game on either side, bro.
Fizz, when your best player is a rookie wide receiver and Xavier Worthy, then you're going to get killed against the best defense in the NFL. They had old man Kelsey and they had old man DeAndre Hopkins, who is going to be better with the Ravens, of course, this year. But outside of those two things, they didn't have anyone to be afraid of. So I think it's going to be, I don't know, the Eagles are going to get a lot different game against the Cowboys. The other crazy thing is, too, like I was saying, a lot of really good matchups early on. The Ravens are rematching the Bills in week 1.
Yeah.
It's like,
that.
Yeah. A really, really good game.
My biggest thing I want to see early, though, Rock, are the young guys. You got Caleb versus Jaden. You got Caleb versus JJ McCarthy. You got a lot of last year's matchups that we kind of wanted to see or didn't get the best outcomes out of. Now they got a little bit of seasoning on them. They're a year into the league, better offenses around them. These are the matches I really want to see is the young guys go head up, man. I'm ready
week
to see those
6 against Bears and Commanders will be good.
Yeah. Will it be a Hail Mary this time? I don't know. We got to see about that one. But I remember that game like it was yesterday, bro. Hell of a game, crazy game. But I think my biggest watch of this year will be the young guys, man. All those young guys that we thought last year. Marvin Harrison, I'm tracking him like a hawk this year. I really want to see him step up. I saw a conference he was talking, and they were saying the whole video, man, he's jacked up. His muscles are bigger than ever, blah, blah, blah. All that sound good, but I want to see him get some targets, man. If he only getting 3 targets a game, I don't give a damn how buff he got in the gym, man. It ain't going to happen. And force feeding them ain't going to help it either. So I'm really watching Marvin Harrison because last year he owe us, we owe him, Kyler owe everybody, man. And we really thought Marv was taking off, going what Malik Neighbors did with that terrible Giants team. And Marv did none of that. So that's my biggest tracker, man. I'm tracking the 2024 class this year just to see what those guys do and how good they are.
We don't want to see any sophomore slumps, that's for sure. Especially with 100%. Someone like like Jaden Daniels. I'm not comparing. Like we saw CJ Stroud, we saw one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen from a quarterback, and then we saw how bad that situation got the very next year. So we need to, be praying for protection for our dude Jaden Daniels, and that was it Cliff Kingsbury can have an even better year this year, especially with Deebo Samuel coming in, which may not move the needle for Las Vegas, but I'm excited for him to have another dynamic weapon outside of Terry McLaurin and old man Ertz.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like I said, that's what I'm really looking forward to. I guess, man, looking at the schedule, I'm sure everybody knows what's going on in the schedule. I know it's a lot of big games. The Cowboys play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, and the Chiefs are on Thanksgiving and Christmas, so they get holiday pay. I don't know, but hopefully they do. And you got the Christmas games. We play the Commanders in D.C. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to the game, but I might have to hit the streets on that one. There's a lot of good premier games. Seemed like the NFL made sure they locked in on primetime real estate. Commanders got 6, I think, primetime games. I think they had like a total of 6 over the last 6 years. So a lot of big things on the schedule, Rock. But outside of the big games and the matchups, let's get into the divisions, bro. We got these tough divisions going on.
Sounds good.
That graphic that you gave me, what was that? What was that based off of? That was
based off who has the strongest. Yeah, it's the strength of schedule.
Okay, cool. I'll bring it up before we get to that. So actually, this could be a debate while we talk about that. And I know you brought it up earlier about the 49ers having the easiest schedule. So since we're talking divisions and we looking at strength of schedule, crazy to think how the Giants have the hardest schedule. Like, what did they do to somebody to make this happen? I don't know.
Russell Wilson has been falling in our drafts, and I would always think of him. He would be like the perfect number 3, number 4 QB. But now after seeing this, I'm like, I don't know, man. Now it's going to be really rough between that strength of schedule and also too a Jackson Dart behind him. I don't know. They might move to Jackson Dart sooner rather than later if they're just getting their asses whooped.
Yeah, I mean, strength of schedule like that is crazy, bro. But I mean, it comes with a division, I guess, because when you're in a division like ours, you probably should have a tough schedule. But just looking at it now, man, while we're still up here, let's just go through the divisions, man. So we got the 49ers clearly have the easiest schedule, and looks like their division might have the easiest one when you look at the Cardinals and the Rams.
Seahawks too.
Yeah. Let's go AFC. No, let's start with the NFC. The hardest division.
Okay.
The hardest division by far to win would be who? The North or the East?
That's a very good question.
I
think it's a toss. I will say the North only because I would rather have the Bears over the Giants. I think that's the only reason. Like you can say that the Eagles and the Commanders are arguably number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys are going to be back in the playoffs. But outside of that, I think between the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions, and the Bears, that's going to be murderer's row. So
okay,
I think it's a toss-up. I think it's a toss-up, but I'm going to give the tiebreaker to the Bears over the Giants. Tougher.
Well, if I had to go with a division, I'm going to give it to the North because of one thing, coaching. I always talk about coaching and the trenches of what coaches I trust the most. I never trust my coaches in any bad situation. Even Sirianni, he just got paid, but a lot of Eagles fans are over his antics at times. They think, he's kind of a clown show at times. But I just think the Kevin O'Connell, I mean, they lost, Ben Johnson is in the North, so never mind. Yeah, Ben Johnson being there, O'Connell being there. You still got my boy Dan biting kneecaps. And then you got, what's my boy in Green Bay, Rock? How to forget his name?
LaFleur?
LaFleur, right? So, coach-wise, man, you cannot get that NFC North, bro, coaching, man. If this was like a classroom, they are sitting at the top in the front, honors, scholars, like their playbook is crazy, bro. So I would probably give it to the North to probably be the best division in the NFC. And since we're talking about the best division out of the NFC is the North, let's give it to what team we got winning in the North, and then we just go straight down from there.
I'm going to give it to the Lions. I understand that they lost their OC, they lost their DC, but they didn't lose Gibbs, they didn't lose Amon-Ra St. Brown, they didn't lose Jared Goff. And here's the other thing is too, they're getting their best player back in Hutchinson, who we forget was looking like he was going to be like the next thing after Myles Garrett as one of the most dominant players. He's in that same conversation, I think, with Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons as a defensive player who can just completely change,
Sure.
the outcome of the game.
Don't forget TJ Watt either, bro. Don't forget TJ now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. All I keep hearing is negative things out of Pittsburgh with TJ Watt. So, but no, you're right. TJ Watt also should be in that same category as well. But yeah, Aiden Hutchinson, and they also got one of the best defensive players in the draft this year to put on the opposite side of him. So that defense, I think, is going to continually get better and better. So I have to give it to the Lions as the division winner for the NFC North. How about you?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm going my boy O'Connell, man. We're going to Minnesota, baby. We going Minnesota.
With a rookie QB?
Going with the Vikings, baby. Going with the Vikings, man. You know, I trust my boy, man. I thought Sam Darnold was gonna have a hell of a year, which he ended up winning 14 games. No one saw that coming, right? You got JJ, you got Addison, you got Hawk coming back. They built on that defense. They drafted a lot of defensive players. They kept the DC over there. I mean, all the pieces are together except for JJ McCarthy. We don't know what to expect out of him, right? But I believe signing Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason and getting those smaller pieces is basically letting us know, even if JJ isn't ready, we got guys that can run the ball, catch the ball on short routes to kind of just move the offense and get him back on track once he starts to fall off. So I'm going to Minnesota Vikings, man, to win this division as of, May 18th? So we might got to write this down, right? May 18th, man.
I'm already writing it down.
Okay, there we go. You got the Lions. I got the Vikings. Let's go to the NFC East, since that was the next toughest division, man. I'm going to be honest, Rock. I'm going to stick with my guns. We got GP in the building, baby. We laying a smack down. We going with the Cowboys, man. You know, no division wins every year anyway in this division. No team wins. Like every year, Rock, for 25 years, it's been a different team. How does that even happen? I have no clue, right? But I'm sure it's not 25 years, but it's like, what, 20
it's like 20 out of 24 years there's been a different winner for the NFC. For NFC East.
And we talking raw. Some of the teams that don't win are the better team, but it's just for some reason the NFC East doesn't allow the same team to win it. So I'm going with the Cowboys on GP, baby. We standing on it. We ski mask down, and we gonna get it in, man. So we going with the Cowboys and win this one, brother.
I absolutely love that. You got to pick your team. If you weren't picking the Cowboys, I'd be like, what kind of fan are you?
I say this before you got GP, I would have said hell no, but I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Hopefully he can also play defense too, because they're still ass on defense. But no, I'm not gonna galaxy brain this. I'm just gonna go with the defending Super Bowl champions with the Eagles, who, a lot of people they've been talking shit about like Jalen Hurts. They just rode that championship to Saquon Barkley, who is still there, but I would love to see them become a little bit more balanced. Saquon Barkley touched the ball like 480 or 90 times last year. So I would love to see them throw the ball a little bit more downfield with A.J. Brown, with Devontae Smith. So they can become a little bit more balanced. They still have that vaunted defense. I think it's wheels up for the Eagles. I think no one wants to play them.
Yeah, well, we'll see, man. We want to play in week 1, baby. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. But we got that locked in. Okay, let's go to the West.
You're welcome, Corey, by the way.
Let's go to the West, and I'm going to stick with my guns on this one because we talk about it, and I think you're going to agree with me. 49ers are not going to win it. We're going with the Rams, man.
We're going with the Rams. No,
they're not going to win it. We going with the Rams, and my boy McVay. You got Adams. You got
Devontae Adams, dude.
They went and made some moves, man, like they do. And now those draft picks that they said F, we don't want them. Now we got them, and they building on it. So I'm going with the Rams to win this division. Best team, I think, coming into the season.
They were probably the easiest for me to pick of all the divisions.
For sure.
The first one I wrote down was Rams. I think you have to put them as the division winner and just a shoe-in for the playoffs. So Devontae Adams is honestly probably one of the players I'm most excited to see on a new team. So I'm absolutely excited for that.
Well, we're going to move to the South, man. The dirty South, man. I'm going to let you talk about the South. Which one you going with, Rock? I think I know where you're going, but I'm going to hear what you got, man.
They're celebrating their 50th year anniversary this year. I'm going to go with The bake shop is open. Baker Mayfield is going to be cooking with his new guy, Emeka Ibuka. Chris Godwin is coming back from injury, and we know that Mike Evans is one of the most consistent wide receivers outside of guys like Devontae Adams. Age does not affect him. He's scored double-digit touchdowns in 3 of the last 4 years, and of course, he has that record for the most 1,000-yard seasons in a row. So every year of his career. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
Well, does Baker have keys to the stadium? Because I know in that
the Progressive commercial, he's just going to be living there with his wife.
He got the groceries outside. He can't get in, man. So, shout out my boy Bake. But we going in the A, man. We going to keep it dirty, man. We going to do the dirty bird.
Oh, my God.
And we going Kyle Pitts breakout season, man. You know I got to go with my boys in the A, man. Penix, London, Pitts, Bijan, baby. This is one of the youngest, best offenses in the league. I don't think they got the coaches in place. I really, really, really wish that they can get an offensive-minded guy there. But until they do, it is what it is. Let's just get them a win in this division and lock it down. So
I'm very excited for Penix. I know it's a hot take, but I put him right there, if not above JJ McCarthy. So I'm very, very excited for him. And they addressed the defense. I know they paid up a lot for that second first rounder, but they had to attack it bad. They had the worst pass rush in all of the NFL last year by a long shot. So hopefully they can turn things a little bit around on defense so they're at least average. But I am very excited for Bijan, Drake London, hopefully that season.
Bro, I think in 4 drafts, I got Drake London in all 4 of my startups. This is the last couple of days. So that's my dog. I'm standing with it. Got Pitts too, because that's my boy. You know how I got to get down with my boy. But Patty, man, we got you in a minute, bro. I'm gonna get you. Let's just answer the question, man. It's my boy Patty joining us. He always here. He said, "Are we comfortable sending Rice and a mid 26 first for CD?"
What do you think? I already have my thought.
100% yes, brother. I'm doing that.
This is the fastest smash accept of all time.
Yes,
Who
sir.
are you going to get with that 26 first that's anywhere close to CeeDee Lamb? You have to believe
and we don't even know when Rice is going to play, bro. He might.
Yeah, I mean, I try to think, in the more the long term. I know people are like, if they say the same thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers, like, oh, they're not going to have a quarterback, and it's just like, no, they probably do. It's just they have to roll with either Mason Rudolph or Will Howard. Maybe Aaron Rodgers comes in, but I say that all to say, don't just think about week 1. Think about week 8, the end of the season, and the beginning of next year. Rashee Rice, unless this injury is like absolutely devastating, we don't know about it, he will come back. He will take back over that role. And when he was in that role, people forget maybe he was a top 12 wide receiver. Actually, he was closer to a top 6 wide receiver in fantasy football. And then he got injured. So
I say this, Rob. I will say this, not to cut you off. But remember, when Rashee Rice, before he got injured, he was a top 12 receiver.
Yes.
But that was before Worthy had his stamp on the offense. Now, watching what Worthy has done, watching him grow, they went and got Jalen Roy, who I'm not saying is going to take over anything.
He could be next guy more. Who knows?
They re-signed Hollywood. Kelsey is still on there. So the chances of Rashee Rice being an automatic locked-in top 10 receiver again are very slim versus CeeDee Lamb being a number 1 receiver, number 2, number 3 in the league. And at 26 first,
I'm not sure because Rashee Rice, he was so good at his role, and he was by far Patrick Mahomes' main guy.
Yeah.
So it just depends upon, do you want a guy who is very much locked into one role? You could say pigeonholed, and if unless you believe that he is so good at that you feel like you're getting a value at that, I'd rather have the top 3 wide receiver in Dynasty football on CeeDee Lamb, who we believe is going to have a career season. So, and like I said before, the only thing that could be bad is if your mid 26 first ends up becoming an early 26 first and you miss out on potentially an Arch Manning, who, as a quarterback is going to be far more valuable. So that's the only risk that I would say. I would rather give up something else, not a 26 first. Find another player on your team that's worth a 26 first. And I would rather do that in Rice than CeeDee Lamb. That would be my recommendation.
All right. Well, newsflash: Arch ain't coming out next year, bro. He's gonna stay to 27.
That will be one hell of a class with the guy at Ohio State, the guy at Alabama, and Arch Manning. Oh my lord.
Yeah. But hope we hooked you up, Patty. We know we got you, brother. But on to the AFC, Rock. I see my boy Ty in the building. What's popping, Ty, man? Appreciate you coming.
Wait a second. You missed the 3 wild card teams for the NFC. There's 7 teams that make the playoffs. Just pick the.
Are we going to playoff teams too? Okay, let's divisions. My fault. All right, cool. Since we're going to playoff teams,
who are those 3 wild cards?
Well, I don't want to. Oh, okay, I got you. We got a division. Okay, that's 4. The 3 wild cards. I would say. Well, mine would have to be Philly because I don't have Philly winning this. So Philly.
Okay.
The Commanders. And
Command.
Damn, there's only 3 wild cards. That's tough. We need more.
There used to be only 2.
We need more, man. I got a lot of teams I want to pick, and I'm gonna put some respect on them and say the Detroit Lions. Go ahead and get that, brother.
All righty. I'm gonna go with the. Or forget the Commanders as well. So we're in lockstep right there. I'm gonna go with the Vikings, who you picked to win the NFC North. I think here you see the Packers. I'm going to put some respect on the Packers. I feel like they've gotten better as a team. They addressed, some of their maybe wide receiver woes with getting Golden and Savion Williams. I have to believe that they're going to be better than they were last year. And even though they are a boring pick, LaFleur is one hell of a coach. So, and I have to believe that Jordan Love is going to keep progressing. So if you were listening, maybe you didn't hear certain teams like the Falcons. The Seahawks were 1 game away. You didn't hear the 49ers, and you didn't hear your Cowboys. So
I get it. Well, we definitely weren't gonna say 49ers. I know Schumer said Schumer. I never said that they was gonna go anywhere, but I
think it's gonna be tough. But here's the thing: if there is a major injury to any of these teams that we were talking about, like we could see the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Cowboys, any of these teams, they are so close to one another. Because like you said, they need to have more teams in the playoffs because there's so many teams.
Well, I will say this, though, Rock, before we move to the AFC.
Yeah.
If I had to give us a team that could maybe not make it that's on my list, and I'm not saying this because they are a rival, I think it's the Commanders for me. And here's why. Because remember, they were just a 3-win team 2 years ago. They got Jaden Daniels. They had this great big NFC championship run. Who's to say that they don't take a step back a year? Because last year was a big jump, big surprise to the league, right? If for whatever reason Jaden Daniels has that sophomore slump, they might not make the playoffs. I believe I'm not saying this because I'm a Cowboys fan, but the Cowboys have enough season and veteranship around them, especially at the quarterback position, to weather the storms when it gets late and trying to figure it out. Will they win a playoff game? I don't know, but they can win those tough games towards the end. The Commanders did it last year on a tear, but just 2 years ago, they were a 3-win team. So to just automatically say that in 1 year that everything's changed for the future, I know the skill on the field says so, but we got to see it again, bro, because you just never know. You know what I'm saying? So if I had to pick one team out of my list that could possibly, for whatever reason, have a slump, I'm going to say the Commanders.
That's crazy that you say that. I'm on the complete opposite spectrum. So I would say outside of the Eagles, the team that I would be the most surprised if they didn't make the playoffs would be the Commanders. And this is the reason why. It's because of what we saw from Jaden Daniels. So unless something catastrophic happens to him, he doesn't even need the best offensive line. We know that from what they were going into last year. They've upgraded, with Deebo Samuel, but we can't always count on him just because, with his injury history. So let's just say they had the exact same team from last year. They attacked the defense, which was their biggest Achilles heel besides their running game or their lack of it. With them doing that, I think that their floor is even higher than it was before. We saw all the ceiling last year from Jaden Daniels, but with them really addressing the side of the field that Jaden Daniels cannot affect with the defense and really attacking that aggressively in the draft, if some of those guys step up and they're less of a liability, I think the Commanders, outside of the Eagles, are the best shoe-in for the playoffs. So that's just how much. When we saw Jaden Daniels, man, last year, he was so good. He was so good.
I'm not taking nothing from him, bro. But you gotta remember, they won a Hail Mary pass. They beat Philly when Jalen Hurts got hurt and Pickett came in. They beat Detroit Lions without I mean, I'm not saying that that's any excuse. I'm not.
And those crazy ass things are going to happen this year too, Fizz. Maybe it goes against them. But there's been crazy ass shit that happens. So,
but again, that happened, and now they've gotten better. So I could be totally wrong. I'm just saying I need to see it again because 2 years ago they were a 3-win team, and in 1 year, I mean, forget 2 years ago, bro. They've been bad for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So
like 19 years.
So just to snap your finger, and all of a sudden they go to an NFC championship, and now they are a clear playoff team. I'm not saying it can't happen. I just need to see it happen one more year to kind of solidify that it's real.
In the same way that overnight Mahomes changed a franchise that had been losing for like 50 years, I feel the exact same way about Jaden Daniels. That's why he should be the 101 in Dynasty football.
Hold on. I got to hit you with this one, bro, because I think you kind of forgot something, man. I think you forgot something, Rock, man. I think you forgot.
What the hell? What the hell?
That Alex Smith had them in the playoffs, bro, almost every year before Pat Mahomes even got there, bro. They weren't a bad team. They didn't.
It was one. Just so you know, it was just 1 year. But yeah.
I was saying, but they didn't win championship, right? They were competitive. Alex Smith was solid. We had Jamal Charles. Like they were a very solid team. They had a base before Pat Mahomes got there. I believe they traded
They didn't
up.
have shit this until Andy Reid got there. No, they did not.
But Andy Reid was.
Who are you to name? Trent Green?
I'm not saying before Andy Reid got there. I'm saying when we said the Commanders comparison with the Chiefs, I'm saying I can't compare that because the Commanders have been bad forever, for a long time. And even before they got Jaden Daniels, they only had 3 wins. When the Chiefs traded for Pat Mahomes, they made the playoffs the year before and the year that he was there.
Yeah, that's 2 years. Compare that in 2 years out of 50, which was the last time that they won it.
You know what? We're going to have to look up some Chiefs stuff later, man. We ain't got to do it right now, but later on. We're going to look up.
Just remember what I said. All I said was that in the same way that Mahomes completely transformed a franchise in that making them a shoo-in for the playoffs, I feel the same way about Jaden Daniels. I feel the same way about Lamar Jackson. I feel the same way about Josh Allen. Those are franchise-changing quarterbacks.
For sure.
And the crazy thing is, I would say that, with Andy Reid, he's the best coach in the NFL too. I don't put Dan Quinn anywhere close to Andy Reid, even though I think Dan Quinn is a very good coach. So I think that there's a little bit of Andy Reid in Mahomes' situation as well that Jaden Daniels does not have. So.
For sure. And like I said, I'm not saying that you're wrong with comparing the quarterback transition. I'm just saying when you look at what Alex Smith was putting together and you look at what Carson
He had a great season. Great season.
I'm saying you look at Carson Wentz, Sam Howell, like the Commanders went through 7 quarterbacks before Jaden got there. I think Pat Mahomes walked into a situation where it was a little more stable than what the Commanders were. That's all I'm saying. I'm not
100%.
saying, but I'm with you though. They wouldn't have won more than what they won with Alex. I'm not saying that he would have ever taken them where Pat took them. I just think the groundwork was kind of there before he got there versus the Commanders. Jaden Daniels took this team from dirt to diamond, bro. Like literally from dirt.
The Chiefs, in the same way the Eagles and the Ravens, they have the perfect trio between GM and roster construction, between quarterback and with head coach. I mean, it's hard to argue that those franchises have the best trio of those things. The Commanders are nowhere close to that. And that's why I think it's going to be harder for them to have the same success as the Chiefs or as the Eagles. Those two franchises are in a complete tier of their own.
For sure.
Teams like the Bills, the Ravens, and I think the Commanders, they're going to try to ascend into the area as well. But I think it's going to be very, very difficult. So I don't think Jaden Daniels will have the same amount of success in the playoffs or Super Bowls. So that's the main differentiator.
Yeah, for sure, bro. So we done with them Commanders, man. I'm done taking command. No left hand up. Let's get to the AFC though, bro. AFC. No. Yeah. We didn't pick a winner on the NFC. Before we move on, who was the winner?
Super Bowl winner.
Teams, or not even Super Bowl winner. Let's just say it will the Super Bowl contendant. Let's just say the contender.
Okay.
On the NFC side.
Yeah, we'll say the winner for the end. I will pick. This is a tough one. It's bitch.
It's a lot of birds going flying around.
Oh my lord! I mean, how many times have we had a back-to-back NFC?
The Seahawks was the last time. And before that, it was who knows.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think it's
every year in the NFC, bro. It's a different team. No matter the best team is never the clear team to go. Like they should, but it's just always the NFC is just different, man.
It's between two teams for me. Maybe you could be the tiebreaker. It's for me. It's between the Eagles and the Rams.
You ain't put the Lions? I thought you were gonna go Lions.
No, only because I don't know, man. I think I think they'll still get to the playoffs, but I think them losing their OC DC. I don't know. Maybe that was the last thing they needed. Oh, man, now you got me second guessing myself. I would definitely put them in the top 3. I think it is between the Eagles, Lions, and Rams. What are you thinking?
Well, them losing Ben Johnson is going to be a serious blow. I believe it's all on the Lions showing up this year saying, I know Ben Johnson, we lost Aaron Glenn, but we owe ourselves. And if they got the health, right? That the health is what matters in all of it. I see Schumer still trying to preach for his Eagles. I'm gonna say this, Rock, and I'm gonna stand out on a limb with this because nobody gonna believe me. They might even lead a stream. I'm not gonna say the Cowboys because if I say it out loud, they're not gonna go.
Oh no, yeah, don't put that in the atmosphere.
Let's go Minnesota Vikings, baby. JJ.
Oh my God.
JJ McCarthy taking them to the top. Minnesota Vikings. I just watched the show Vikings on Netflix. We going all the way in, man. All right, you're going all the way out.
Oh my Lord.
Minnesota Vikings, man. Let's get it, man.
Yeah, I just watched last night. What is it called? Silver Linings Playbook or whatever the fuck that movie is. That's a Philadelphia movie, isn't it? So
Minnesota Vikings, baby.
I'm gonna go with.
You heard me, man.
Fuck it. I don't want to. No, fuck the Eagles. I don't want the fucking Eagles to go back to the Super Bowl. They already
sound real angry.
Yeah, they've already had enough success. They can't. That's like the Eagles are going to become like the next Chiefs, man. They were already really hated ahead of time just because of their trash ass fans that are just treat their players and shit like shit. But outside of that,
I'm
just gonna go.
Go ahead.
I'll go with the Rams. I want to go with the Rams.
Rams and Vikings in the NFC Championship, huh?
Yeah, I think that's what we got to do.
What the hell?
Predicting that, Fizz, and no one predicting the Rams.
We might lose some people, man, but that's what we standing on, man. I got to tag my boy Thor on this one, man. Let him know, man. I'm going to Vikings, baby. So, AFC though, Rock, man. Let's go on this red side, man. Let's see what's popping on the AFC. We got to go to the divisions, and then we'll go through the wild cards, and then we go to the championship. So, who's the toughest division? AFC. Where we going at?
I'm just gonna go the AFC West.
I was about to say it used to be the NFC
North,
the AFC North, right? That was the staple of this whole, AFC side is this division, the clear winners. And to be honest, Rock, I wouldn't be surprised if your boy Tomlin pulls out another 10-win season for no reason, right?
I would be very surprised, only because.
Well, I won't be surprised.
Does he have?
He's done it every year. He does it every year with a horrible.
This is like
team.
The worst offense I've ever seen on paper, and they also have what's his face, Arthur Smith, at the helm of the ship that's going down.
I wish they stopped winning so they can get an earlier pick and hopefully fix some things that they need. But hardest, toughest division is the AFC West, without a doubt. So let's start there. And who you got winning it? Let me know why.
This is probably the spiciest pick I have. I'm going to go with the Chargers. And I love just Harbaugh. He's only been in the NFL. He's only going into his second year. And if it's anything like it was in San Francisco, he is going to, especially with the way he is building that team out in LA, through the trenches. He has one of the most talented passers in Justin Herbert, and he got one of the best RBs I've ever seen come out of college in Amari and Hampton with Najee as his backup. And I don't know if some people know this, Fizz. Do you know that if J.K. Dobbins doesn't sign anywhere, he can go back to the Chargers?
Just found it out yesterday.
That's going to be one hell of a trio that they have between Dobbins, Najee, and Amari and Hampton.
Yeah.
So, and I like Trey Harris. I love Lad McConkey. So, with them having it, they were a top 3 defense last year, Fizz. So, I'm going to take that defense. I'm going to take the upgraded offensive playmakers. I'm going to take that offensive line, but mainly I'm going to take Harbaugh, who is completely transforming this franchise over the span of a year.
He wins, bro. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I'm with you on that one, bro. I feel that one, but I'm going with the Chiefs, baby. I'm going with the Chiefs, man. Until you stop the rain, it's going to keep pouring down. So I'm rolling with the Chiefs. It never rains in Southern California anyway, baby. So the Chargers are out of here. We rolling with the Chiefs. I don't know if you like that line I just came up with off the top of my head.
That was good.
It never rained, and we going to keep going where it's pouring, baby. So we going with the Chiefs with the NFC, AFC West. Whether they win the AFC is another thing, but the AFC West, they were going to win. I don't think they even care if they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They just going to go to this AFC championship.
Look at Voorhees in the chat.
I know. I held you down, Playboy. I held you down, my brother. So I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm standing on it. I'm gonna rock it with my boy Voorhees, and we gonna go to this AFC West division championship. So let's go. What's next? We gonna go north?
We can go to the north. That'll be a quick discussion.
Yeah, we don't even know what that is. That's the Ravens from both our sides. No argument with that one, right?
Yeah, right there. It is kind of sad. I think with the Steelers taking a big step back on offense, like I said before, I think the NFL is way better when the Ravens and the Steelers are both strong teams. That rivalry is still one of my favorites. It's not a rivalry anymore, unfortunately. But yeah. Hopefully Baltimore, they pick up where they were last year. Hopefully they don't lose games by toes and bullshit like that. And King Henry continues to run all over the NFL. But yeah, the Bengals are going to be, I think they're going to be kind of close as far as, but we'll talk about that with the wild cards.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens as well. I don't got to elaborate on it. AFC East. I see Connor said all will be forgiven if we have the Bills going out of the AFC. Not the East, but he said the AFC. So we didn't get to that, Connor. We're going to see, man. But the AFC East
is easy.
Pretty clear it's the Buffalo Bills as well.
Yeah.
Until otherwise, we
like what they're doing in New England. We like the way that they transformed their team, but it's hard to go from Can you guys hear me?
That was me, Rock.
Oh my Lord! Hey, we're back now, though. So that was just a little. We got stuck into a black hole, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, bro. Now I can't see you or me on the screen. Can you see me?
Yeah, let's just keep talking. Then
I'm looking at a blank background, so hopefully y'all see me. But
I see you though, so
okay,
let's keep going. So we talked about the Bills. They don't need to see our faces anyway. I remember I got a face for rodeo.
You know what? Let me remove myself and see if that works. Okay, yeah. Now I see myself. He said we black. There we go. Oh, well, I know I'm black, brother. Hold on, man. So no, I'm playing. He said we back. I'm playing. No, I don't know. I can't see me or you, Rock. I don't know what happened, but
it's okay. I see us, so we're good.
All right, bet.
Yeah. So
I'm messing with you, Connor.
Go ahead, bro. Okay, so what about the AFC South?
AFC South? That's a good one, man.
There's been one team that's made the playoffs every year with their coach and quarterback.
He said, Schumer just said you gone now. Hold on, man.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm trying to add you to the stage. I don't know what happened, bro. It kind of just like tweaked out, but trying not to have to reset the stream so I can hear you. Can y'all see us? Let us know if y'all can see us, man.
What I need everyone to do is put your hands together and pray. Pray against the evil one. All right.
I think we good now. I just changed the from this to that, and I think it works. So let us know if y'all see us. I believe that we're good.
Yeah. We're good. I refreshed it on YouTube. We're good.
Okay. Bet. So, but like AFC South, we back to the South, Appreciate y'all tapping in with us, man. Hold on, right? We gotta thank the people, man, for being here. You know, the internet shit. I don't know what happened, but we appreciate y'all coming, holding us down, always staying through. No matter if we lose power, lose signal, y'all always got our back, man. So we talked about the charges, and our battery died on us, Rock. So
thank you, Patty. I appreciate you praying.
It is what it is. Get back to it. AFC South, we gonna get it cracking. I'm gonna say this. I said the Cleveland Browns had traded with the Jaguars and they got their 26 first. I still don't think that the Cleveland Browns make the play. I mean, the Jaguars make the playoffs. I still don't think they're a solid team. So, no, you thought I was gonna go to Jaguars? Come on.
I thought you were gonna go Duval.
Thank you, sweetheart. Dang, right, hold on. Do you see this? Yeah, let's hurry up and get through the stream, man. Because when I bring up the comment, it took me. I don't see us no more. So let me get through the stream. I will just say to get through this conversation because we talking way too long on the AFC South of all divisions. I love what the Texans did. I know they got rid of their whole offensive line and said screw you, C.J. Stroud, and then they came back and they started building on top of that and adding more players to surround them. They went and got 2 rookie receivers back-to-back rounds with Higgins and Noel. I love everything that they placed around their starting franchise quarterback. So I'm rolling with the AFC winner as the Houston Texans. And yeah, man, I got to stick with it, man. I like what they did.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that the Texans are shooting, especially, you know, if their offensive line is a lot healthier than it was last year and CJ Stroud isn't running for his damn life. And they got a new OC who I am excited to see.
Yeah. Hey, right. I'm going to say this, just bring this up. Remember, I talked about the OC they had last year from 49ers, man. You told me give them a chance, and it looked like the Texans didn't, bro. I told you, man. It wasn't a good match, man. I remember that. I'm pulling the receipts on you, man.
Well, sometimes you can't get them all right, Fizz. That was one of the ones that got wrong.
Nah, I wanted to mess with you, but I did remember saying that though, because I just didn't trust it. I think we was debating C.J. Stroud, and I just said he need a better OC, bro. I just didn't say it. So. It is what it is. I know I'm not always right. You pretty much right more than me, but I gotta get my wins.
One of the things with that is a lot of it just depends upon adapting. So that OC was so good his rookie year, but he wasn't able to adapt. I think that was also the reason why the OC out in Seattle, his ass got canned too, because he wasn't willing to run the damn ball, pass it short. He just wanted to air raid the entire time with Geno Smith.
Leading the league in passing, okay? That should never happen.
No.
Crazy.
Not when you got Kenneth Walker and Sharp. So, so a lot of it comes down to adaptability. Can you adapt? Can you change? If you can't, and you got one combination and that, that other fighter figures it out, and you can't do anything about it, your ass is going to get canned. So,
for sure. But who you got? You got the Texans too?
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah.
All right. And we went AFC West. Okay. All right. So we got our division winners. Let's go wild
cards.
I let you kick it off. I let you kick this one off.
So I will go with the Chiefs as the first one to shore up a wild card spot. I think it's hard to argue with Andy Reid. And if we believe that Patrick Mahomes is going to be on his revenge tour, him and Lamar Jackson trying to remind the league that they are the best quarterbacks in the league, I think it's hard to argue with Kansas City.
All right. Go ahead. Give me the other two. I fill mine in as you go. I'll get your other two.
The other two, I'm going to put the Broncos there. I love what Sean Payton is doing. I love that defense that they have. RJ Harvey, man. I'm trying to get as many different shares of him as possible. He was one of my favorite running backs coming out. I wasn't sure about him because of his size and stature. But, yeah, I'm very excited for that running game to be a lot better than it was last year with R.J. Harvey and Bo Nix continuing to progress. And the last spot, I'm going to give it to Joe Burrow in the Bengals. They were only one game away from missing the playoffs last year. I understand that Hendrickson is holding out, that he needs to be paid, and he definitely deserves it. And that defense is so awful. But Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, that's just the best wide receiver duo, or just the trio in the NFL. So I think they will put up about 80 points per game, Fizz, and be able to just all those games they lost like they lost like 5 games in the last drive in the last second. That's not going to happen again this year. They're going to have those games go their way. They're going to be able to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, man. You know, I love what the Broncos got going on, bro. I feel like the NFC East and the AFC West is kind of like tied to me. They got 3 top tier dominant teams in their division, and I think if you had to take 3 teams out of one division, it'd be tough because the NFC North is the same way as well. But I think the AFC West really got a lot going on, man, and they're getting better and better. But again, Rock, the coaching, bro, Harbaugh, Sean Payton, Andy Reid, right? When they come to coaching, that's what win championships. So to have those 3 coaches in one division is crazy, bro. So I love that. So I'm gonna get to my picks. And yeah, Pops, I feel a lot better. Got a little cough, but I think drinking this tea, breaking it up and making it all do what it gotta do. So we good to go. I'm gonna go with I had the Chiefs winning, so I'm definitely going to Chargers for sure. Chargers is a wild card for sure. I think the AFC is a little easier to take than the NFC, bro. I think, NFC is just so many stacked teams. If you go AFC, it's just so top heavy that the bench ain't really as strong. So you don't need to play basketball in the AFC. That's what I'm pretty much trying to say. So I go with the Chargers with the Broncos. I went the Chargers already?
No, you did not. You picked the Chiefs. So I have Chargers, Broncos. Who's your last wild card team for you?
No, I got the Chiefs already. You said I picked the Chiefs.
Yeah. So you picked them as the division winner. So Chargers, Broncos, and who else? Who's your third wild card team?
Okay. Chargers, Broncos.
Are you gonna pick the Bengals too?
No, I'm definitely not picking them, bro. They trash. They trash. I'm gonna go a surprise team, Rock. I'm gonna go a surprise team.
I was gonna say maybe we should pick one surprise. There's always one team in the AFC and NFC that makes the playoffs that no one expected.
You know who's gonna go? That's gonna surprise a lot of people, and I'm gonna get stricken and thrown rocks at for saying this, Rock.
Are you gonna say the slot team Dream Machine?
I'm gonna go with the New England Patriots.
Oh my Lord, really? Damn.
They got coaching, baby. Mike Vrabel is there. They went and got the best defense on paper in free agency. They got Drake May stepping up. They got my boy Diggs. They got Hunter Henry. They went and got Kyle Williams. I'm not saying it's going to look pretty. It's going to be ugly. But they can win some games in this conference, right? I'm going with the Patriots, baby.
Dang. Yeah, I would have picked the old man.
Where my boy Vegas. 6 rings at? See 6 rings here, and he ain't even here, and I'm hyping.
Natty, yeah.
I'm going to Patriots though, man. I believe it's going to be a new day. They went and got the running back. I believe it's going to be a slow San Antonio Spurs looking game, boring as hell. But if they can go out there and do what I think they can do, they're going to surprise some teams that think like the Bengals. You have
a lot of faith in Drake May, huh?
You're going to have teams like the Bengals. The Bengals going out there thinking they're going to put up 50 points with that offense, not realizing defense win championships. And Mike Vrabel and them going to say, we smacking y'all in the face. We shutting all that down. So I'm just saying teams like the Patriots are really sneaky, bro. And I'm gonna just take the Patriots, man. We in May. I ain't gotta hold myself to it, but I'm going with the Patriots.
No, these are locked in. So we're gonna put a huge wager on this. You can't change it whatsoever.
Right, well, I'm gonna ride with it, baby. I'm gonna ride with it, man. Look, I'm going to Vikings and I'm going with the Patriots, bro. I'm living in 1895 or whatever year.
Yeah, what the hell? I'd pick Duval ahead of the Patriots, man.
Patriots, let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Patty, we picked the Bucks and the Falcons to take the NFC South. So there you go. Yeah. And Connor is upset I didn't mention Josh Allen. Oh yeah, don't be bringing it up. You're gonna throw us into a black hole again if you bring up.
Yeah, I can't bring up. I'm sorry. You saw that when I brought up the comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So
No, you're hallucinating. I didn't see nothing. Connor, I'm just upset about what happened last year. But no, Josh Allen, he is one of the best quarterbacks. He just didn't deserve MVP last year. We all know who should have won that shit, so that's fine.
Well, let's go to the winner of this AFC thing, and then this championship Super Bowl matchup. Who you got in the AFC? I think I know where you're gonna go. And
Baltimore, come on.
Hey, meet me on the wire, baby, because I'm going the same thing, man. I'm going Baltimore. Yeah. I'm gonna say this, man, and Rock. I know I've been saying this every year about Lamar, right? Derrick Henry not getting no younger. He just signed a bigger contract. I believe if Lamar Jackson don't win this year and go to a Super Bowl, he ain't ever gonna go. He is going to be the Allen Iverson of the NFL. All of this hype and hope and talent it's just gonna go to waste. And I really believe if he don't get it this year, bro, because I think last year they beat themselves when they lost a lot of those games. That Buffalo Bills game, not putting it all on Andrews, but he dropped the ball. When they lost to the Chiefs, big toe likely hit the sideline. I mean, every time they lose these crazy games, it's because of themselves. They don't really get beat by the other team a lot of times, right? And I think this year, if they can't overcome those woes of my fault, like, Lamar, that my fault Lamar, my bad Lamar, they're never going to get it. So I need Lamar to, look, he on what show he on? He on the new Power show, man. He robbing somebody. I don't know what he doing, but man, bring the gun with you. I don't care, Lamar. Let's get it done.
Let's get out of the bathroom stall. Stop pooping in halftime, and then
we gotta get the win, man. Let's go, man.
Before you get the NFC, who's Baltimore playing in the AFC Championship before the Super Bowl? I have Buffalo.
Okay, Connor. I know you ain't feeling this one, brother. We going to Chiefs, man. I'm going to Chiefs until otherwise.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm going with the Chiefs until otherwise, man. You can't not deny Andy Reid, man. That's how I'm feeling until I don't feel that way. I think it's Andy Reid, man.
Yeah, I love it. So, okay, now NFC side.
But Rock, you notice this? How it's so easy to kind of predict the AFC. This is every year, bro. It's just like I'm not saying the other teams don't matter, but it's like every year, rewinded tape in the AFC. NFC is so much excitement. People hate on the NFC about, oh man, it's easy over there. It ain't easy. Because if it was, we'll have a repeat Super Bowl appearance every year.
Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. It's going to be one of those two.
The AFC has been Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, same sorry teams winning the same games, man. It's a new day in the NFC every year. Yeah. AFC, we're going to get Lamar, Josh, Pat, and maybe somebody else sprinkled in off the random, whatever. So I love the NFC is what I'm trying to tell you. So AFC, though, we got Lamar and Baltimore and I got the Chiefs. And we got Lamar versus who you have on the East?
Buffalo.
I mean, NFC. I'm sorry.
And
I'm saying I'm in Super Bowl. Super Bowl. My fault.
So the NFC Championship, I'm gonna go with because I already picked the Rams. I'm gonna go with the Rams versus
Vikings. I mean Baltimore.
I want to go. Well, in the NFC Championship, I'm gonna go with Rams versus. I'll go Rams versus Eagles.
I thought we already did the NFC Championship though.
No, who'd you pick?
You picked the Rams to go to Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I picked the Vikings to go to Super Bowl.
Again, who are they beating in the championship game before that?
Did we talk
who
about
the Vikings beating?
Talk about that.
That's what I'm trying. Help me out, Fizz.
I said the Eagles. I would love to see the Eagles lose a good game like that. So let's go with the Eagles, man.
All right. So I'm going Rams, Eagles. You're going Vikings, Eagles. Okay.
Vikings, Eagles. Vikings to the championship, baby.
And who's going to be the Super Bowl winner? Baltimore versus Vikings for you.
I just told you, brother. Lamar, baby. Lamar.
All right.
LJ8 Jackson, man. If he don't win it now, he ain't gonna win it, man.
All right. That would be one hell of a Super Bowl. Two purple teams playing against one another. Oh my Lord.
Damn, I forgot about that. I didn't even realize that. I know my boy Voorhees. I still got this hold on. Still got this Super Bowl Pat Mahomes Chiefs jersey. Thought they was gonna win it, Rock. I ordered it and they didn't win. I never even unzipped it. That's how pissed off I am that they lost. I bought a Super Bowl jersey and never even took it out the wrapping, bro. So I'm over it. I'm gonna just say this, Rock. It's LJ8 season, baby. I've been drafting them anytime I can get them. You know me, I'm a trade for them. It's Lamar Jackson time all the time on this channel, baby. So Super Bowl time, Rock. I think we got the Ravens winning in 2026, right?
Yeah, we've been predicting that the last 2 years, and hopefully, finally, that happens. Baby. Exactly.
I see Schumer. Hey, Sean, I'm working on a belt that ass sound bite too. I gotta find one. Send me some on YouTube. I'm gonna clip some. But I'm definitely gonna get us one, man. So Baltimore Ravens to the Super Bowl. Flock Nation, Patty Mills put up in there, and yeah, man, those are our predictions. We got NBA championship predictions. Nobody thought we'd bring those up. Somebody brought up
certainly
hockey.
Surprised them, didn't we?
Who's your hockey prediction? Let's get out of here on the hockey prediction. Who you got, Rob?
Man, the only team I really follow is our Columbus Blue Jackets, and they're kind of up and down. I
Bro,
don't
I'm
know if
going
they're
with
making the playoffs.
I think they in it, right? If they still in it, I'm going with the Dallas Stars, baby. It's always about the Stars in Dallas around here. So I think the Stars is still in there. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Let's stop talking about what we don't know about. We'll just
I
shoot
know.
from the hip. I
Patty
never
Mills
want to
said the
do that.
Canes, yeah. Patty Mills said the Canes and Stars is going. Yeah, it's okay. See, I know a
All
little
right.
bit of something, right? Come on, man.
Man,
Don't
I
play me
could
like
go
that.
for some Cane's chicken fingers right now. I'm not sure if you guys got that over where you're at, but I
Hey,
love Cane's. That's
Patty
cane
said the
sauce.
Stars are still alive, baby. They still alive. That's what I'm talking about. So let's get it popping, man. So yeah, man. That's how we gonna end that one, Rock. A
Yeah.
good, smooth, random show, but we got our predictions out. We got the people in the chat, man. One thing I do want to highlight though, Rob, before we got here, man, the same people that always tap in with us. We
Yes.
want to grow, of course, that's our goal, but we got to stay with home base, man. I believe in home base is always the key, and having your same people that always come rock with you, those are the ones you got to look out for the most, man. You always got to tap into, reach out to. The most of these guys, I believe, are in the Patreon, and those that aren't, that just watch the show and comment. We still appreciate y'all too. Of course, we're still trying to grow this channel. I believe we're almost at 200 subscribers. Hey man,
Damn.
make your fake accounts, send it to your grandma. I don't care who it is, man. Get
your boyfriend or girlfriend's account and get their phone and sign up too. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I know we ain't out here trying to beg, but I'm just saying, if your kids out here on YouTube watching a whole bunch of other kids play with toys and open up gifts, they can watch us a little bit too, man. We're trying to clean up some of the language, man. But Corey says he's never coming back, and we appreciate him for not doing that.
Fizz, the meal is always better enjoyed when there are more people at the table eating it. So we want this to be as big as possible. So we'll never forget the first people that showed us love. We'll always make them first, but we want to share it with as many people as possible.
Well, Random said you can't grow without feeding us, Rock. So you got to get us another meal. We're gonna do that at least like let's shoot for like once a month or something, man. Let's shoot for like once a month with that. But before we get blanked out of here and sent into outer space, because my stream is really tripping right now. I can't bring up no comments or no nothing. So guys, we appreciate you. Corey doesn't even watch content. My boy was here the whole show. Random, Patty, Elijah, Tom in the building. My mom's in the building. Who else up in here? Pops was in here. My boy Voorhees. Man, everybody that come through every week, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Keep doing what you're doing. We're gonna keep doing what we doing. And at 7:25 tonight, we got a special guest, Pat Fitzmaurice from over there at Fantasy Pros. He will be tapped in with us on the mock draft. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. If you want to draft against Pat, show him how we do it over here in South Harmon. We will have this marathon draft. That's how we gonna keep it going. And hey, man, the link will be out in the chat, man. So sign up, first come, first serve. And yeah, let's have a good time tonight, baby. So
Pat's a big name. He's a big name. Fantasy Pros is one of the best in the industry. So it's gonna be one hell of a show.
And shout out to Pat, man. Every time I reach out to him, he just reply right quick. Sometimes he hit me back like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry for the late reply." I'm like, "Pat, it's been 20 minutes, man. It's all good. I've been
He's old school like that.
Yeah, I've been left on red for days. So 20 minutes I can live with, bro. So shout out to Pat though, man. He doing this thing over there, Fantasy Pros. Been in the game for like 20 years. So we gonna show him a good time tonight, man. I'm gonna ask Pat what type of music he listen to, man. I might switch up the instrumental tonight. I think Pat gonna rock with us either way though, man. So I'm gonna check him out, see what he got going on. We gonna have us a good time tonight. Rock, you drinking tonight or what you doing,
man? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have a little sippy sip. I don't want to, because here's the thing. If you guys can't tell, this is the first time I have been healthy ever since the infamous tequila double chicken sandwich night. So maybe I don't want to go back to that.
Well, we don't want to get you back there, brother. So I'm drinking tea tonight. I just want to see what the vibe was. But regardless, we're gonna have a good time. My boy Red in the building, talking about what he talking about, man. And we ain't gonna bring that comment because I can't bring up comments anyway. So just know that it was one of those. But we shout out to you, Red, man. We appreciate y'all for coming through. Stay tapped in. 7:25 Eastern Time PM. We will be back on this channel. Link going out shortly. So if you want to mock draft with us, come mock draft. Either way, we enjoy the company. And Rob, Go ahead and let us know what's up. You got a word of wisdom or how we leaving this?
And Fizz, even though I do not cook, I haven't been cooking for a while, I do have a word of wisdom. You don't have to put me on the single screen because if you do that, it might screw us up.
It's gonna mess up.
So I finished Machiavelli's The Prince. One hell of a book. It's got some very famous quotes in that book. Here are some of my favorite ones that you might recognize. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot do both. It is double pleasure to deceive the deceiver. And the wise man does at once what the fool does finally. But my favorite one, Fizz, the more sand that has escaped through the hourglass of our life, the clearer we should see through it. So whatever you got going on in your life right now, what you need to do, go get it done. Make those dreams come true, man.
There we go. We're going to end it like that, baby. Well, we appreciate Rock always with the words of wisdom. Make sure you got a good word tonight, man. We're going to let Pat know we got a word for him. And we appreciate everybody that's here, man. So tap back in tonight, 7:25. Go get your lunch, take your shower, brush your damn teeth if you didn't do it already. And see you tonight, man. We out of this thing. Let's get it, baby.